What's up, y'all? I was watching Yojo Jerks the spoiler review the other day, man, last night, and I thought that I had an idea. It was something that I couldn't stop thinking about. And he said something uh that he intentionally made a much more negative thumbnail than he normally would because he knew that it would probably get more clicks. And it did. And if I remember right, he said that it got around 3 times his normal views. He wasn't bragging. He wasn't calling anybody out. If anything, it sounded like he was kind of disappointed that this seems to work now. And it got me thinking, like, this isn't just happening in the toy community. It's movies, it's comics, it's video games, it's news, it's social media. Everywhere you look, it feels like the loudest, angriest, most negative headline gets the attention. And this is not going to be like a show where I'm complaining about YouTubers. It's not. Because if I'm being honest, I clicked that thumbnail to see why was the jerk going so ham, and then I made one. And then I made one tonight. So not really reviewing a toy, not pointing fingers either, but I'm asking a question. Why does this work, guys? Why What is it about those thumbnails that are so hard to scroll past? Is it like a train wreck that you can't look away from? The more I thought about it, like the more I realized that this probably is not even a YouTube conversation. This is a human psychology conversation. Because here's the thing, like YouTube didn't invent human psychology, right? It just learned how to measure it. And that's an important distinction, right? A lot of people say the algorithm rewards negativity. Maybe, but what if the algorithm is simply rewarding what we reward, right? Think about it. So if the video says, this figure is awesome, and another one says, this thing is hot garbage, which one are most people curious enough to click? And it's not because they necessarily enjoy negativity either, right? Because they want to know what happened. Which figure is it? Is it something that I was gonna buy? Did I fuck up? And if you completely disagree with the title, there's still part of your brain that wants answers. And it's curiosity. It's powerful. And then I started reading about this and I found something very interesting. Psychologists have known for a long time that people naturally pay more attention to negative information than positive information. And they have a name for it. It's called negativity bias. Let me say what's up to the homies. Paul Morales, salute. Master Jedi, welcome. Good evening. Good evening. Crimson Cobra Commander, what's good? Hey, what figure are you talking about? What's going on? Inquiring minds want to know. Is you, that's why I click. Normally, I don't care about negative videos. Yeah. I mean, that's the same thing that happened with me with Yojo Jerk. I don't think of him as someone who's just out there trashing everything, right? And so when I saw that thumbnail, I'm like, what's going on with the jerk? Why is he tripping? What's going on? So it's not maybe necessarily that we like want the beef. We're not looking for violence. We're not looking for the negativity. Is it a curiosity thing? Great Wookie said might have got a lot of views because people wanted to know why is it bad or good. But what if I say in the thumbnail, checking out this figure today, man, gonna find out if it's bad or good? You're not clicking that. If I say, looking at this figure today, it's glorious, man. This is one of the best figures. This is a great figure, man. This is a really great figure. Let's check it out. You're probably not gonna click that either. If I say this is the worst figure that's ever made, stop the industry, fire this bastard, you're gonna click immediately. So there's no figure. There's no figure. It's not a review. It's an experiment, and I think about our ancestors for a second. And now we're gonna talk about figures. Don't get me wrong, guys. No. Relax. We're gonna talk about toys. We're gonna review some things here, but nothing new, right? We're talking about the issue, right? So if one person pointed out over there and said, "Look at that beautiful sunset," and another person yelled out, "Tiger, fire!" Which one gets your attention? it's working well. That's the funny part. So every single time your brain is going to the tiger, it's going to the fire because your brain is evolved. We have instincts to notice potential danger, right? Before we notice something pleasant. That's how humans survived with no claws, no fangs, no armor, no wings, right? Can't swim, can't really climb shit. All we can do is think of some tools and shit and figure out some weapons, right? And we're basically prey until we figure that out. And so we've evolved to learn to seek out danger. And it's like my man said, Master Grave, want to make sure we didn't buy a bad figure. BDBGP, what up, man? What up? What up? Oh, gee, I skipped a few. BDB, what up? What up? Bollywood said, but you're right on a personal level, just because there's so many shills and glad handlers out there, negative reviews gets my attention faster because you feel it's more genuine, maybe. This guy's not shilling. He's not just trying to get likes. He's not just trying to get love from the company, right? He's giving me the raw. And without naming any names, there's some great reviewers out there that have made a career on, and I don't want to say bashing because they're not just out to bash it. They're dissecting it and they're giving you the pure business without a give a fuck about the company and what they think, right? And that's attractive, but why is it more attractive to be in that negative stew than to be, and it's and I think we're landing on it because it's not negative. It's not that it's more attractive. It's that our brains are wired that way. We're wired that way. We are going to look for the worst thing first. I thought this was going to be some Black Series shit talking. Black Series. Well, we can definitely talk some shit about Black Series tonight. We could definitely do that. I promise. What up? What up? What up? I just got a great figure. Iron Grenadiers Death the spoiler. Glad you brought that up. That is actually a big bone of I'm not gonna say that phrase. Man, I just thought of the spoiler. Destro were way overpriced. BDBGP's chilling, and that's a value. That's a valid fucking criticism. So a tiger is more interesting to look at than a sunset. Well, are you talking beauty because the tiger is more beautiful? Or are you talking about? And I'm not saying interest, but your initial reaction, right? The first reaction, if someone says beautiful sunset and someone says tiger, or tiger's a bad, who's fucking dealing with that? Guy with a gun, right? Something dangerous, right? You're gonna look at the dangerous thing first, right? Maybe a tiger was a bad, not too many. Look out, tigers happening, but one of YouTube's oldest, longest standing regular content producers is the Angry Video Game Nerd, aka James Rolfe, who made his career on consistent negativity. And that was a different era too. And he, that's the OG in the game right there, Angry Video Game Nerd, man. My son was watching him when he was a little kid. But exactly. And it's a lot of people. So a lot of people find this as a negative thing, right? They find this as a bad thing, like, oh, that sucks. It shouldn't be that way. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with Angry Video Game Nerd or anybody else doing that. You're not exploiting anybody. You're not milking anything. You're not doing anything in any wrong way. You're simply giving the people what they want. And all I'm talking about tonight is why we want it, right? I'm not criticizing anything by any means. There are some YouTubers just don't watch because they're always negative. And that's another thing too. Like, you have to find a balance, right? There's an art to it. The guys that are good at this, I'll name Jersey Maniac is probably the most popular one that's very good at this. The reason he's good at it is because he's not just being negative, and he's not just being an asshole for the sake of being an asshole. He's really giving you real business, and he's just being real with it. And sometimes being real ain't that nice. And there's a balance. You have to ride that balance. You can't be pissing people off and making people feel isolated or whatever, but at the same time giving people that real business is what people want. Just got in the latest Monster Force. I was supposed to have mine yesterday, and the FedEx thing was like all of a sudden it switched from arriving, yesterday to we'll give you a date, and then that shit's still sitting up there today, but it's moving closer. I think it passed me, and then it's FedEx, dude. The worst, one of the worst. But anyway, yeah, should have had those. Kind of why I'm doing this tonight. Shout out. Could have done an Invisible Monster Force review since my shits didn't arrive. Shout out to Toy Gains. That was a good one. Shills are everywhere, man. NWA Polywood for the size. I found it was the price was smaller. It could have been cheaper, but it was worth it to me. The balance is honesty, right? Because if you're just overdoing it and just being a jerk for jerk's sake and just being an asshole and just, being nonsense, that's not interesting. What's interesting is when you're just being real and real honest and real, never mind. So you got you get a guy calling out crap, you may think he's a guy. Hold on. So you get a guy calling out crap, you may think, hey, this guy may have some coin. Yeah. I prefer real reviews over show reviews. That's why I stopped watching Black Series reviews. Black Series, man, that's a sad tale, bro. Honestly, bro, because Black Series was it was awesome, bro. When Black Series first came out, dude, that shit was it, bro. It was a great time. Now, bro, they've regressed. Black Series used to have double jointed knees. Now they don't. Like, what are we doing? We're going backwards. I get that they had pins, but bro, I'd rather have a double joint. I don't know. I hate pins. I don't know. I almost said some fly shit just then. But yeah, Black Series, bro, man. I just got the and I still get ones that I need. Like I just got the Lord Star Killer. Had to have it. Love that game. Love the character. Love the armor. The Star Killer outfit was definitely like all I wore during that game. So that had to have it. And I was just so crushed. I mean, crushed. You know what? I could have done a review about that figure with tonight's thumbnail. And it would have. And here's the thing. It's because it's actually almost good, and that's what pisses me off. You've got cloth goods with wire. He's got a bunch of lightsabers that hang all around him from the Sith and shit that he's killed. He's even got the ponytail coming out of the braid, his apprentice braid and shit coming out. It's a great concept, man. The claws, the hands are, very accurate to the game. Whatever you think about them, it's how they were in the game. But the plastic's cheap, the detail is nil. What are we doing here? And worst of all, you know what I hear I hear? It's like a baby's toy from Back to the Future 2 when he was playing the fucking fighting game. That's what I hear. It's like a baby's toy. Oh shit. But it's a tragic thing. It was a good thing. Critical Thinker is always disrespectful to Marvel and DC, and hates almost everything when they don't deserve it. Maybe he hates everything. Some people buy stuff that they hate. I don't know. But also, you can't blame him even if he's not. If he's just doing that because he knows that's what people want to watch, that's the sad truth. And shout out again to my man Yojo Jerk. Last night he was saying just that. He was like, it sucks that I would have to do that. Like, I don't want to have to do that for views, but this is like triple my normal view rate. Like this is, we don't want to have to do it. I didn't even want to put that shit up there tonight. I'd rather talk about how cool this shit is, dog. I'm a collector. I buy the shit because I like it. And, I generally don't order shit if I don't want it. But at the same time, I often have gotten shit that I expected to be better than it was. And that's where the disappointment can come in. But honestly, like, I'd love to just sit out here and just chop it up about how cool everything is and blah, blah, blah. But no one's interested. You know what I mean? And that's the sad truth. But you got to find a balance. You don't want to bash. You don't want to yuck someone's yum. I did that. I yucked someone's yum. That's what they told me. Got up in my comments. He's like, why you want to yuck my yum, dog? And I was like, damn, bro, I didn't mean to yuck your yum. Don't let me yuck your yum. Yum your yum. Yum that shit. If I yuck it, you can yum it. Honestly, I feel like if you come to the show, you're probably coming to see what I think about the shit. So I'm telling you what I think about the shit. And if it doesn't jive with what you think about the shit, I'm not bashing it. I'm not bashing you, and I'm not saying you doing it wrong or none of that. It's just, that's what we're here to do. We're here to talk about it. We're arguing over action figures. We're ranting. Obviously we're not running from tigers, but our brains are wired that same way. So when you see a thumbnail screaming, this toy is trash, your brain doesn't necessarily think, I love negativity. I want to go see some negative shit and feel negative. It's not what anyone thinks, right? There's just that tiny moment of curiosity, and it's like, I better find out the danger. I'm a collector, and if this guy's saying trash, what if I already bought it? What if it's on pre-order? I can cancel it, right? Right? It's all about that survival instinct, man. Hot Rod is here. New Luke don't have a thigh swivel. What the fuck? Oh, thigh swivel. Hold on. Does this thing have no thigh swivel? Bro, this is a remedial. This is a fundamental. This is regression. This is regression. There's nothing. There's not even a double joint. There's no thigh swivel. Even the elbows aren't double jointed, which is pretty standard on a Black Series, even when the knees aren't. I mean, they just, I think they have a budget thing. So it's like, if we're going to give you cloth and wire and 4 extra little tubes of little strips of plastic called lightsaber handles, then we got to dock you. We got to dock you a joint. We got to dock you a joint and we got to dock you a knee and an elbow for that. So who knows, man? It's great sculpt, man. Great I love the design. I mean, obviously. What's with all the Stormtroopers Black Series? These movies take place in space, so they give us oddball space beings, right? Where's all the aliens? Oh, look, humans in space. Who gives a shit? Listen, I have a pretty decent sized Black Series collection, which you can't see, which I'm looking at over there, enjoying, without you. But there's little to no Stormtroopers. I have like maybe one from each movie to represent, this is what they looked like in that movie, and I'm good. I don't need 17 colors of the 78 colors of the Stormtrooper. But for those who have huge armies of Stormtroopers, I know people who only buy the Stormtroopers. They only want the clones. That's their jam. So you can't bash. You can't come up here and just be like, but at the same time, I can be like, I think it's fucked up. I think it's whack that Hasbro pumps that shit out. I'm not saying you're whack if you collect it or you like it, though. And that's the deal. Like I think that's the contract right there. That's the thing with Black Series. There's almost good figures, and then you have to pick ones that you really like and pass on the ones you question on yourself. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much that's what it is. That's what it is now with collecting. You know, there was an era where you pretty much you got whatever came out, but now there's so many choices, bro, that we can be very critical and very we have to pick. You can't buy it all. I don't give a fuck who you are, bro. There's if you add every company out there, bro, there's no way you can collect everything. So you're gonna make a choice somewhere at some point. So, you know, and at this point, I'm cherry picking. I don't buy every figure in a wave because I've never been collecting Marvel Legends since 2018. You know how many Build-A-Figures I have? That's how many. Because I'm not buying them fucking hostage figures, dog. You're not getting $30, $60, $90 from whatever the fuck, however many, you know, those bullshit figures I gotta buy to build asshole right there. I'm not doing it. I got heads of a bunch of motherfuckers. I'd love to build some of these shits, you know, but it is what it is. Like, you know, that's my silly shit. They dropped the ball in 6-inch Star Wars. They should have the HasLab vehicles in Star Wars. I didn't hear many good things about the 6-inch Star Wars vehicles they put out. I like the Snow Speeder. The only 6-inch vehicle that I really hear good things about is the TIE Fighter. That's the one everyone loves. And I've also heard it was too big for scale, which I don't know about that, but I think it's dope. I'd love to get that. Black Series is diminutive in comparison to the other 12-inch lines. Put Luke next to and it's not just Black Series, guys. It's just Black Series. It's just Black, because Classified Marvel Legends, it's like a staggered, right? You get a wave of 6, 1 you really want, you know, 2 you really like, 3 you'll take, and 3 honestly I just, you know, you can't pay me to buy. I really like collecting in the vintage collection, but the prices have gotten high as Black Series figures. And I'm forced to pick and choose what to get in that line. You can't. YouTube, you can't get them all. YouTube saved me money on Mask Line. Thank you guys for buying that crap, so I didn't have to spend money on it. And that's a great thing, man. You know, about being real. I don't think you need puking faces and you know, the world is ending all over the thumbnail, but you can let a motherfucker know I'm giving it to you raw. And if, you know, ooh baby, you like it raw, you know, come through. That's how you know, but they put the 4 figures in the wave, maybe 2 will be accurate. You know what I'm saying? None. And I'm proud of that fact. I'm proud of that fact, dog, because they didn't get me. Stealth X-Wing for China would be fire. Love the abbreviation for Black Series is bullshit. Yeah, man. So yeah, man, if naturally people pay more attention to negative headlines, what do you expect creators to do? You know, we got to eat. We got to get this thing popping. So if you say, let's say you're a toy reviewer and 1 week you've uploaded a video called "This Figure is Awesome," and it gets 8,000 views. What? It gets 80 views. The next week you upload "Worst Figure Ever," and it gets 5,000 views. You know, then it happens again, and then again, and then again, and you're noticing. And at what point do you stop saying, "Well, that's weird," and you start saying, "Maybe this is the ticket. Maybe this is what works." And that's not necessarily somebody selling out. That's not selling out. That's somebody looking at the scoreboard, making a business plan based on market research. And you know what I'm saying? And if every time they lean into an outrage and the numbers go up, and every time they make a balanced positive review and the numbers go down or stay stagnant, it shouldn't surprise us, that more creators start creating content that looks like that. And, now, does that mean that's good for the hobby? I don't know, but I will analogize it like this. Mandalorian and Grogu came out, and I was gonna scroll and show you all the videos. I don't have to do that. You already know. Mandalorian and Grogu came out. Great fucking time, dog. Good fucking movie. It was about Mandalorian and Grogu having an adventure, which the title implies, and the characters imply, and everything we know about them implies. How people were confused about this, I don't know. But it wasn't about that. It was about Star Wars is over. Oh, it's the worst thing ever, right? It was just bash, bash, bash. And I noticed those were the videos that got all the views. Go look at it. And the guys that were like, this was a good movie. This was fun. I like Mandalorian and Grogu. Just came out. Had a blast. No views. Okay, that's one time. 3 is an experiment, right? So Motu comes out. Masters of the Universe. Fucking blast, dog. If you're a Gen X person, if you grew up in the 80s and you don't fuck with Motu, get your cock out of your ass. You're doing it wrong. That's a great fucking fun time. That movie was dope. It was Funimation in live action with some Gen X shit. Fuck out of here. So, what do we see on YouTube? Trash, utter bomb, flop of the year, flop of the century. Just over the top. Motherfuckers' heads exploding in the fucking thumbnail, bro. Your head is exploding? It wasn't that bad, B. You don't fucking think it's that bad. These reviewers don't believe that shit, by the way. They probably dug the shit. They probably watched it with their kids and had a fucking blast. But they know damn well, and I'm talking about the big ones, if they come on there and they start talking about what a good time they had, they're going to fall off and no one's going to click. So is it bad for the hobby of collecting toys? I think, oh, I forgot. 3 is an experiment. Supergirl comes out. Now, hold on. Supergirl, if you weren't trying to compare it to the comic book that it was adapting, which it failed utterly at, if you were just going into it, and honestly, the girl that played, I'm not one of these guys. I don't think she fucking ruined the movie. I don't think she was the ultimate casting, but I liked her from House of the Dragon. I think she's all right. But not a lot of great things you could say about the movie, but you don't have to act like it's the worst thing since fucking, almost said something I don't want to say on live. So, but you think it's real bad. It's not that bad. Like it sucked in a lot of ways for a lot of reasons, but honestly, bro, I'm the guy. I think Guardians of the Galaxy was the better of the MCU movies. Those movies were incredible. Whatever you want to say about James Gunn, those movies are incredible. Fuck out of here. But that's just me. So I think James Gunn should have directed this movie. I think he should have wrote this movie. I think he should have, because he's more about comic accuracy and making it more feel like a comic book and stuff like that. So giving a space bounty hunter Guardians of the Galaxy-esque film to anyone else when you're literally the guy running was just brain dead. So that movie had no, and I'm going off on a tangent, but my point being, this is not good for movies. Those movies didn't do well as they probably would have done if YouTubers weren't bashing them. Because a critic, see, a real critic is going to give you the juice, to give you the real raw, what they really think of it. a savvy critic understands viewers choose their favorite critic based on if that critic agrees with them. If you read a critic and everything they fucking say, you're like, hell yeah, bro, that's your favorite critic. So I don't trust critics, bro. They're either telling you what you want to hear, or they're trying to just going over the top saying shit they don't even believe just to get views. And again, Supergirl was probably a bad. My point is, we're talking about collectibles, so I don't think it's the best thing for the community. I don't think it's the best thing, but I don't think it's something that anyone's doing wrong, and I don't think there's any way around it for us at this point, because like what I'm talking about tonight is this is human psychology, right? Because there's no simple answer, let me hit chat. I appreciated your live stream talking about the Destro. The spoiler was positive and informative. I go to you, Reno, because you're genuine. Thank you, Hot Rod. I really appreciate that, bro. And that's the thing. Like, I think that's important. I'm not going to toot my horn here or anything. I'm just saying, I think it's important to, like, just give your honest opinion, whatever that be. If you hate the shit, talk about why specifically you hate it. Tell me what's wrong with it. If you love the shit, don't be afraid to get on there and tell people that you like something, even if you think no one else likes it, right? I just did that shit. I'll do it again. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people talking shit about the spoiler. Like you said, my review was positive. I thought it was great. I personally thought that little rinky-dink spoiler that he had in the 80s line looked kind of silly. He was like sitting in this little thing. It was like a pod. It didn't feel very Destro. This feels more like something Destro would come through in, manufacturing and all that stuff aside, but price point and all that. Then you have Mephisto, which was $80, $30 less. And in my opinion, a better quality like piece, but who gives a shit about Mephisto? So there you have the issue. And then it's like, if you're gonna do a character, and then you start talking about Savage Crucible and Mythic Legions. I'm pointing over there. You can't see all back there, my Savage and Mythic area. Making characters you've never heard of. So amazingly, you don't give a shit that you've never heard of them. You want to know who they are. You want to know about them based on the figure. Hasbro don't do that. Hasbro gives you people that you know who they are, and they're pricing that shit partially based on the character's popularity. If this was Joe Schmo's Schmo-mobile, it wouldn't be $110, even if it looked identical and was identical. Mando Grogu was a good time, so was Mo 2. But if you go on YouTube and you ask the critics, they'll tell you worst things ever since fucking Burnt Toast. They bashed all the movies that came out. Motu Mandigo. Yeah, it's an industry. It's what we got to do. Yeah, I love it. I'm ready for Book of Boba season 2. Book of Boba. If they gotta work on it. They gotta work on it. They gotta fix it. Motu was awesome, man. Didn't see Grogu. Hot Rod. Do you fuck with Star Wars? Did you like Mando and Grogu season 1? If the answer is yes and yes, go see that shit, bro. Here's the thing. The critics' complaints based around the fact that it didn't push the franchise forward. There was no big Lucas back moment. There was no, here's the next Sith for the next trilogy. Why does that have to be every movie like now? Like they weren't that way back in the day. First of all, George Lucas created Star Wars as an adventure serial, like based in his mind, Indiana Jones. An Indiana Jones in space. That's what Mando and Grogu is. It's an adventure serial cliffhanger thing that he grew up with, and that's the style that he's making them in. Jon Favreau says he sets out to make exactly that, and that's exactly what he did. And if that's what it was great. and that's what it was, and it was great for what it was. So, you know, if you wanted it to be something else, go see a movie that's not called Mandalorian and Grogu. That's what it's called. That's what it is. It's Mandalorian and Grogu. They're running around fucking getting into shit. It's a good time. Can't wait for Spider-Man. Spider-Man is going to be dope, bro. I think Spider-Man is going to be one of the better comic book movies. Like, I think it's going to be the most comic book-esque movie that we've gotten in a while. Whatever else you think about it, because like the industry's moving that way. Marvel's definitely figuring it out. Deadpool and Wolverine, you know, huge success, very comic accurate. Fantastic Four comes out, looks like a comic book on screen. They're starting to learn that shit they were doing since Endgame was not it. And we need stuff that feels like a comic book on screen. You can't just make it the cinema and it's something else now with these characters, and the comic fans go and they don't recognize shit. You know, it's because the comic fans are the ones that care, you know, and they're figuring that out. All these other people that have all these opinions don't really give a shit. At the end of the day, they're not your fans. They're not your core audience. Why are you trying to appease them? Would never watch Supergirl even if they paid me. Did you like the comic? Did you like the comic? The trade paperback? Because like what I liked about Supergirl is also the thing I didn't like about Supergirl. I like that they were adapting as a concept. The movie is adapting a specific book, right? And that's what I always wanted, because Marvel, ever since like Iron Man, like you go back, you look at one of their movies, it's not one comic book or one run or one storyline. Even the one that's called, you know, whatever, it's not. They pull shit from Golden Age, Silver Age, Modern Age, you know, and they just any comic, any writer, any run, any universe, and they'll put it in one movie because it's from the comics. Okay, cool. You played in your toy box, but now adapt some shit. Remember the Watchmen? Remember when they would adapt a comic? Like, that's the dope shit. So Gunn comes in, does something that no one else had done, makes a Superman movie that's not just about Superman. When I was a kid, I always wondered, why doesn't anyone know about Batman? Like, why don't they know about Gotham? Like, where's the Justice League? Why has no one ever heard of any superhero but Superman? Like, that didn't compute for my comic brain. But Gunn said, fuck that. In comics, in Superman comics, other characters are there. And he did it. And it felt like a comic book in live action. Supergirl, they're adapting one. Even Superman, though, my point was being, even Superman took from 3-4 different Superman stories. Right? So Supergirl, one of the first, one of the only, one of the ones that really focused on just adapting one story. They, like I said, they failed at that, but keep trying that. Keep doing that. Keep adapting those stories. For me, Mythic Legions, the lore of Mythic Legions was not knowing anything about the figures. It was not caring about the lore. I can make it up as I go. See, that's another thing too. Mythic Legions is dope because you make up your own figures. You make up your own characters. Bro, I can't wait to go to Legions Con, bro, this year, bro. If anybody's going, I already booked, hotel booked, rental booked. We'll see you at Legions Con and Toy Unity, November 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. There's 7th, 8th, and 9th. Yes, sir. In Jersey. Yeah, I fuck with it. I'm a new Legion head. Love Savage Crucible too. By the way, speaking of Savage Crucible, Rob and Nikki, Nicole Customs will be on the show a week from tomorrow. So Wednesday the 15th, mark your calendars. We're going to learn all about Savage Crucible from the owner and designer, one of the designers and the owner of the company. It'll be awesome. Gibbs Me Toys, what up? Yeah, man. So, you know, like I said, I understand the creators, dog. Did you ever click 1/6 and stop? No? I never collected 1/6. I never collected 1/6. I collected 1/18, as a kid. When I was a little kid, I played with, these. And then I stopped playing with these probably in like 1989. And then now I play with these. Which this is really what got me heavy into it, is because I was like, oh, this is like when I was a little kid, bro. Here's the wild thing about classified and 40-year-old dudes. Where's he going with this? So in my small child's hand, right, this figure was about that big. Think about this now. Let me cook. When I hold one of these now, it's like, how did I even dexterously manipulate this thing? It's so tiny. But I didn't feel like that when I was a kid. That's pretty much how I felt right there. And tell you something else. It didn't look like this to me when I was a kid. It looked just like this. My memory, when I think of them figures, I'm saying I don't remember it like that, bro. I remember that shit looking like a classified figure in my mind as a child. So this, to me, these classifieds, they hooked me, because I would collect O-rings. Like, I love G.I. Joe. Like, oh, and what would I collect? G.I. Joe. But like, yeah, this is for kid me. This is perfect for kid me, and then this is perfect for 40-year-old me. It appeals to my sense of realism. Well, I can see that this guy's head is way too big, and I can see that this don't fit, and I can see that this gun is molded onto his leg and doesn't come out, and all the shit you didn't think of as a kid now is important to you. So like, they're dressing all that, and it's like, it's the perfect scale. I think 1/6, it's just too much. It's too big. You couldn't have all the figures. I mean, they're leaning close to 200 figures now. But that's just me. I mean, you know what I do love is Mondo. Those shits are fucking dope. And then shout out to my man, Kid with the Kung Fu Grip, who's always on the show. He has an amazing collection of 1/6 scale G.I. Joes that he customized, that he made. He made 1/6 scale G.I. Joes, because that's what they used to be, the old school G.I. Joe. But he dresses them up like the 80s Real American Hero characters, and it's dope. It's dope. Marshall, man, what's the haps on the craps? I don't know what you mean. I have small hands. I heard they're using laser cutters for cloth now on 112 figs, like Venus, Mars. They look just good as 1/6. Wow. Yeah, I mean, scale is funny, because some of these figures, and these are great examples of figures that designs that look great in both scales, which is kind of tough to do, because you have like almost a whole wave, like in 87, where you have guys like Psych Out and Lightfoot and Sneak Peek and Fast Draw, and they don't look good. They didn't look good. Chuckles, Crystal Ball, like that whole wave. Like, but now as a grown up, I hated all them as a kid. Now some of the best designs. They were some of the best designs. They just didn't look good, shrunken down in 1/18 scale, but in classified, they're amazing. So classified's bringing back all these characters that sucked as 112, as 118, and they're nailing it in the 1/6, man. I mean, in the 112. Yeah, no, I like 112. I like 112 because it's big enough that it can have all the detail and all the accoutrements and accessories, but it's small enough that I can have vehicles, and I can have a lot of them, right? Because I want to have them all. I want to have the whole roster of all the Joes. Like, I remember when Classified first started coming out, I was like putting them on the shelf, and I'm like, yeah, it ain't there yet. It ain't there yet. I wanted to feel like that big, just that row that just, you know, the Joes, and it's definitely there now, bro. You know, classified's in danger. They're in trouble. No matter how dope they are, they're in trouble because G.I. Joe just didn't last forever. It was a finite thing. And all the best characters are out. We got them all. Like all the gotta have them's. There's a few. Like for me, bro, version 3 Snake Eyes would make my whole year, bro. I've been wanting that figure since I saw Classified. That was one of my favorites as a kid. That's the one with the swords on his chest. Only one that they didn't make. Skipped him. Went right from 2 to 4. And just kept going. Like my man was. And then Just Blues Gung Ho. There's a few that I really want, but like the big ones, all the craziest major ones, we got them, bro. So I can't wait to see what else they come up with. But it's very selective, right? I need a drink. Synapse, not so much. Miss Armada, more of that, please. So. And then they'll pepper in the guys we still need. Iceberg. They're gonna make us wait for the fucking Thunder Machine, because if they bust their load now and it's over, right? They can't give us everything now. They got to skeet it out over time. That's what they're gonna do. Especially now that they don't have HasLabs, they're gonna be giving us all the little stuff. So, it's dope. But yeah, man. So. Gibbs say, I like the silly G.I. Joe shit. Sir, are you referring to like Cobra La or just like small, like the little jump, jetpack jump off, like little play sets? Reno said, Reno, I know you were on the fence about Sundown. I had to purchase him. Oh, okay, the Synapse guy. Right. The thing is it's not, it doesn't resonate like Joe shit. It definitely silly. It definitely hits the silly, but it doesn't quite hit the Joe. For me. Mistress Armada does though, and that's kind of silly, but it nails it. Synapse is a cyberpunk. See, now if this came out in like a cyberpunk line or something, like a crazy line like that, it's not bad. It's kind of weird. It's cool. I think Synapse is a bit of something that I coined. Fucking, it's pre-use. It's not reuse. It's pre-use, because you see it. They'll make up a fucking. They know they got to do Headman. Okay, they know they're gonna do Headman. Think about this now. Let me cook. We know we're gonna do Headman because why? Sundown. They already told us Sundown is hunting Headman. Well, you got to have Headman now, right? So if we just do Headman, how are we gonna reuse that suit? Who's gonna get the double-breasted suit after Headman? Because you got to have reuse, right? Every figure Hasbro makes has to have reuse potential for it to pass the checkpoint. Executive's gonna look at it. What can we reuse that? All right, go. Nothing can be reused. Oh, this is a deluxe figure. You gotta charge fucking 10 times, whatever. So yeah, nah, they gotta reuse something. So instead of coming out with Headman and then trying to sell us on some fucked up reuse of his fucking jacket, give him the reuse first. Little pre-use, right, of a made-up character, a part that we know is really made for a figure that is a known character. That's pre-use. So I love Synapse. Looks like Eurotrash supervillain. I'm all about that. I love Eurotrash supervillains like as much as the next guy, and I think Synapse is a cool looking it's a concept. It just. It's good use of it's good use of the shit that we need to do. And I know you're not a Joe collector. You really don't fuck with G.I. Joe really at all. You have a very eclectic collection, a very cool collection, like all kinds of like just if it's cool, it goes on the shelf, and I like that. That's a cool. I used pre-use on a live last week. Yeah. I did a little post and shit on Instagram. When Mistress Armada becomes available and off pre-order, she's a must buy. So why do you wait for her being off pre-order? I'm the opposite. If I don't get the pre-order, like I don't get the figure. I pre-order every figure. I don't go to stores because fuck that. Fuck that, bro. There's no way to get every figure if you're just going to stores. You can't do it. So instead of confusing myself with what did I get there? What am I going to find here? Is it going to be there? Got to pre-order. If I missed the pre-order, is it going to be on shelves? Blah, blah, blah. Fuck that. If I want it, I pre-ordered it, and that's it. But I see a lot of people who don't, and I'm interested. I want to know. And Hot Rod's another one. He says he agrees. No more pre-orders for Hot Rod. I want to know. Talk to me. Inquiring minds. They could make Buttons McBoom Boom. He has the Dobristic coat. They beat, yeah. I don't see them using a lot of pre-use like from one line to another. They don't do a lot of that. They've done allegedly they've done something between Marvel Legends and Classified. I didn't think it was exactly the same, but that's a debate. Buttons McBoom Boom, Big Bad. So yeah, bro, I really want that figure, bro. I love that that whole show as a kid. I was one of the like kids that really love Cops and Crooks for whatever reason, and I like Buttons McBoom Boom, and you know, he reminded me of a relative or something. And when they did the, one guy, and I was like, man, if you did that guy and like Dr. Bad Vibes or Button McBoom Boom or Big Boss, a two, like at least two, I was in there, bro. But I didn't want to just get the one and then fuck around and they not make the rest of the line because that shit happens. And then I got this one guy that, I don't really care that much about. If you give me one of my characters with it, I would have bought him though, because he is dope. And he's a good looking figure and everything. Yeah. Mask, G.I. Joe, Transformers, all one universe. There are others that are, supposedly involved as well. I got into big trouble clicking pre-order and forgetting what I pre-ordered and then getting hit all at once. I'll wait till it's available. That's a valid point, because that's the way you do it. I do it like this. And this is very bad. Don't try this at home, kids. I have an illness. So what I do is I will pre-order that shit because I know if I had to pay for it right now, I probably wouldn't get it. When it hits my card, I got to say, oh, well, it hit my card. Well, I couldn't. It's a very bad habit. I only pre-ordered when it's exclusive. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, man, for me, it's just like, I'm very particular about what figures I want. And so, like, if I really have to have that figure. So I'm not risking having to go to eBay for it or none of that. So, like, if I really, really just want a figure, I'm pre-ordering it off rip. Big Boss, Dr. Bad Vibes, Buttons McBoom Boom, number my 3 that I want the most. Buttons number 1, Dr. Bad Vibes 2, Bad Vibes 2, and Big Boss 3. Definitely dope. Reno G of the Destro Vehicle. What was your thoughts? Folks are hating on the plane. Like it more than the figure. I'm with you. I'm not with you on that. Well, I'm with you on that. I like the vehicle. I'm not with you on that. It's more than a figure, though. For me, that's because you're not a Joe person. If you were a Joe person, and here it is right here. Terrible image, lighting. I guess you can't even see it, but I think this is figure of the year for Classified. This is Classified's best figure we got this year. Hands down. That face sculpt is crazy dope. I don't know. I heard people hating on this face sculpt. I don't know. I guess everyone has. I mean, listen, that's the cool thing. Everyone has their own opinion. Everyone that likes what they like. Honestly, bro, this has so many details and good luck finding reuse. Like, this is a very cool figure, dude. They really put it together. There's a couple things, reused, but it's not heavy. It's not Cobra Commander, Hooded Cobra Commander. You might as well call him King Reuse. Like, he's reuse with a new head. But this guy is really good, really well done. Really, really well done. But yes, check out my review. I did do a review on the Destro's Despo, and I dug it. I dug it a lot. But I'm a huge see, here's the other thing, right? There's all kind of biases that come into it. Okay, you can't just be like, it's good, it's not good. I don't do that. I'm not saying this is good, this is not good. I'm not really qualified to say that. What's good and what isn't good. I can say what I like and what I don't like. And I'm a big fan of Destro. I'm a big fan of the Iron Grenadiers. Like, when I was a kid, when they came out, I really liked the design. I was super into the Iron Grenadier soldiers and the whole thing. Super into it. I was too young when the first Destro came out in the package. I had the OG, the original Destro, like, I got that from my cousin. Like, I was too little when that came out in the package. When Gold Destro came out, I got that from the package. So that was kind of my Destro. I was born in 79. So 82, 83, when Destro comes out, rather, I'm 4. So I didn't buy that. Like, I didn't get that. I first got into G.I. Joe at 5 years old. Kindergarten. Maybe I was either 5 or 6. Kindergarten, I was 5. Maybe I was 4 or 5. I don't know. Kindergarten. I know it was kindergarten. And my introduction to G.I. Joe was coming out of the bedroom and seeing the flag already built. My dad built it and shit. And first of all, a lot of people, when I say that, like, a lot of people, oh, rich kid, you were the rich kid. I grew up in the fucking hood. There's money in the ghetto. Let Too Short tell you, right? The hood is not, motherfuckers in the hood got paper, bro. And my family were hustlers, right? They would get money when they had to, bro. And they get together. If they saw something they wanted, bro, we gonna have that. I was the one, my pops worked at the post office, right? We didn't have no money, bro. But my pops worked at the post office. So out of all the kids in the hood, my pops was putting it steady. We never went without shit. I always had shoes that were fly. I always had the fly shit. But by no means did I live a privileged life. So let me just get that out the way. Because as soon as I tell people I got the flag, it's the thing. I was that one kid in the hood with the flag. Yes. Everyone come to my house, play the flag. Yes. But it wasn't, trust me, it wasn't what you're thinking. But yeah, I was, so from then on, I was just blinders on G.I. Joe from then on. But like, yeah, that was me being introduced to G.I. Joe. So all that previous shit. So point I'm making, which I've really taken a long time to make, is that I like the Despoiler and Destro because I like the Despoiler and Destro. I really like this Mephisto figure, but I don't give two flying fucks about a Mephisto all that much. He's a great character, and I'm a big Marvel fan, and you got to have him on your Marvel shelf, and he's part of that pantheon of villains. He's the ultimate manipulator. I mean, Mephisto, fucking Mephisto. But did I grow up as a little kid playing with Mephisto? No. So it has to be better for me to like it as much. And here's where a lot of people complain. They're saying, well, you're buying this based on nostalgia, and they're milking you. They're exploiting you with nostalgia, giving you subpar product that you're buying and liking because of your nostalgia, because you liked it and all that. And you're not wrong. It doesn't change anything, though. It doesn't change the fact that I fucking get a fucking kick out of seeing Destro in his Despoiler and Classified. Like, I fucking, that does it for me. Did I pay $110 for it? Yeah. Did I regret it later? Not a bit. Not a fucking smidgen. Does that mean I think it's the value is there and that's the right price? Not even a little bit. That's the fly shit. Not even a little bit. It just means I don't give a fuck. I'm a collector and I buy what I want. You know what valuable? You know what collectors are valued at? Collectibles are valued at is whatever a collector will pay for them. That's why they change. That's why the value of a comic pre fucking COVID was, $10. Now it's fucking 1,000. It's the same comic book. It's the same first appearance that was there before, but now people are willing to pay more for it. Now it's worth more. So are we talking value? Because that's like $1 worth of plastic there. So yeah, man, it's like it's hard. You can't put a this is good, this is bad, fucking that's it. Move on. This is what I like about and here's another thing that kind of supports that. My man, shout out to Hinderer on my boy Kaz channel. He goes over and he gives a man, he trades a man 10, count them, 10 complete OG G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, and not no bullshit characters. I'm talking about like Refrigerator Perry, like Duke, like Firefly with the phone, like the whole nine. Great figures. Trades him for a vamp, a classified vamp. Bro, he couldn't have given him them G.I. Joes faster. He couldn't give him them Joes faster. He wanted that vamp so bad, and to him, he licked. And your boy that traded in the vamp, I bet he think he licked, because he did. But if Hinderer's happy, more happy with the vamp than he is with the Joes, did he lose? And you say, well, of course he fucking lost. Did he lose, though? Because is he in it for an investment? Is he buying this shit because he's going to try to retire off it one day? Or does he just buy it because he fucking likes it? That's the thing. So collectibles, man, you can't. Retro, modern. What's quality? And what are we talking value of what? I hate pre-order because I know it's available. It's that childhood feeling. Plus, I think pre-orders are part of the modern FOMO selling tactic. 100%, 1,000%. They get me with it. I found myself the other day wishing, I really wish that fucking Hasbro Pulse and Big Bad Toy Store did not let you pre-order without paying for like 5 minutes. I wish that for like 5 minutes. Pre-orders work for me. I don't have time to toy hunt. Spreadsheets are your friend. Keep track of all the toy orders. And for me, Dallaston, I can't get to any stores. Like, I live way out in the boondock. I moved. I had to get out of the city. I had to go, and I'm way out here in the country, living that Green Acres lifestyle, loving it. But I'm in a small town. I'm not in a Green Acre. I'm in a small hood that's in a small town, but we're surrounded by 45 minutes of nature in every direction. And there's one Walmart, one Lowe's, every kind of fast food, couple grocery stores, couple restaurants. That's it. That's the town. And I got to drive an hour to get to a Target and to find out that they don't have shit or whatever. Kick rocks. Because, like I said, I want a collection. I'm collecting certain characters and stuff. So you got to if you need certain characters, you cannot depend on the wild. You can't depend on stores. You can't depend on doing it that way. Is it funner? Yes. Is it a better way to do the hobby? Yes. If your intention is journey, right? If your hobby is toy hunting, then pre-ordering is blasphemy. But if your hobby is just shelf porn, if your hobby is toy photography, if your hobby is diorama building, I don't have time to be going shopping, bro. I'm building shit. I'm working on something. Get that shit. That shit comes to the door. I'll get it, put it, fucking keep working. So it depends on what you're doing. It depends on what your hobby is. We all have different hobbies with this shit. Quick time, little segue for my plug right there. Let me plug the homies. Legions Magazine, salute Toy Mercs doing the toy photography in physical media. Shout out to the Mercs. Yeah. So I say it. Pre-orders are good if you gotta have certain shit. I want the plane for my Mezco Doc Nocturnal. Mezco has some fly shit I was looking at today too. I just got my Destro and I love it. You just got your own self and you love yourself. I love that. Oh, it was a hole in the motherfucker. Oh, quadruple 091. Thank you for saying it correctly. First dude I've heard not say grenaders. The flag to 5-year-old Reno must have looked like a Cadillac. It was bigger than I was, that's for sure. And that's the only reason they bought it. Only reason they bought me that shit. I was too little to even be like, I want G.I. Joe. I didn't know what the fuck a G.I. Joe was really. I knew that my older cousins had a bunch of toys, had some He-Mans, had some G.I. Joes, some Transformers. I saw all the original 13 and all those characters, but I didn't get them off the shelf, right? I had them all. I didn't get them off the shelf, but they bought that flag because they were like, it's going to be bigger than him, and it was. It was longer than me. If I laid down next to it, it was bigger than me. It was like damn near as long as my bed and shit. Took up half of my bedroom, like that. It was... Trust me, wasn't no rich kid shit over here, bro. I rolled out the bed and had to squeeze through the fucking flag. But I was happy too, bro. I love that motherfucker. All right, cops and villains. I need to hire a built big boss. They should make it a little goblins and demons near Mephisto's throne. Yeah, that would have been awesome. Some little demons and shit. When something hits for it, doesn't matter what anyone, repeat, anyone thinks. That is a fact, sir. I make a list of figures that I want, and when a store has them available, I buy, then I scratch them off the list. It's the way to do it if that's your goal, man. Like, you know, I'm scared, bro. I have a fear. Fear of missing out. I live in some Green Acre shit too. Bro, I like growing up, I hated the idea of living in the country. I was a city boy. I didn't understand not being in the city. I loved the city. The city was the life. It was life. And somewhere around 35, I was just like, no more. Let's get out of here. I need to go somewhere else. And it's cool. I like it. It's like laid back. It's chill. It's slow a little bit. And nobody's trying to kill me and arrest me, and it's a good time. It's peaceful, my dude. Toy groups have helped me too when I miss a pre-order, but the toy hunt, bro, is just not the same when your aisles without toys. You know, it used to be a better time to do that, like when stores existed and there were Toys R Us's and Walmart's had actual toy lines and shit like that. Toy aisles and shit like that. People who say you're getting milk for nostalgia are the same people that spend $300 on a t-shirt because it has Supreme printed on it. Some of them. And some of them are just the same people that are actually still buying that shit. And, you know, it's like we can complain about the shit that we're doing. We can complain about the fact that we're nostalgia whores, but we can understand it too and know it. and just deal with it. Pre-order or nothing. Even been burned on pre-orders not coming in 2 or 3 times. Yeah. No, it's like, and it don't always, it's not always a, like I said, I was supposed to have 3 Monster Force figures and a 2099 Hulk yesterday, and that shit ain't be still here today, and it don't even say deliver tomorrow, so I don't know what's going on. It should be here by Thursday, along with some other stuff. So, where can I get this t-shirt, Prophet? It sounds like fire. You got to do it. You got to do your Reno. It's all up when it comes to people collecting. That's it. That's the fun part about it to me, bro. I like doing this, and I like talking to people and learning their different ways and just chopping it up, man. It's a good time. So I got a question I've been asking myself, and I want to know what y'all think. Has the hobby actually become more negative, or has negativity become the vehicle, the visibility? Because those two things are different, right? Think about it. Like 20 years ago, if somebody hated a figure, they complained to a few friends, you know, maybe posted on a message board. That was about it. Same thing with movies or whatever. And so today, you know, one thumbnail can reach hundreds of thousands of collectors, even if you don't click it. Lots of people see what they don't click, right? So is there really more outrage right now, or are we just seeing more of it because the internet rewards it, because people reward it with their clicks? And here's something else to think about. How many times have you watched a review because somebody loved the figure, then completely forgot about it the next day? Now think about a review where somebody absolutely destroyed a figure, said some funny shit, right? You probably remember it, right? Maybe you even talk about it with someone else. Maybe you even link to a friend and share it, and you say, oh, you got to see this shit. This is crazy. You got to see it. You know, it's another part of human nature, right? Strong emotions, they stick with us. They spread. They become conversations, and platforms notice conversations. And now, you know, none of this means that positive content can't and doesn't succeed. There's plenty of creators who build communities by celebrating the hobby, by celebrating the hobby and building the community that way, and with positivity and camaraderie, which is fine too. But if negative content gets people talking more and commenting more and clicking more and sharing more and arguing more and discussing more, it's not hard to understand why these platforms keep putting it in front of your face. You know what I mean? I live in New York City for work, but when I want to get away, I drive to PA to decompress. I'm blessed, bro, and I toy hunt along the way. That's a good strip to hunt along. Most people think they only speak up if they hate. Most people only speak up if they hate something. Internet rewards it. Negative reviews get way more views. Negative reviews get way more views. It's a fact. It's a fact. And it's not because people are bad. It's not because people want to be negative. It's not because creators are bad people. Because that's literally how recommendation systems learn, right? So maybe the real question isn't why does YouTube keep showing me these videos? Maybe the question is, why are all of us collectively telling YouTube that's what we want? That's a much harder question to answer. Maybe that's where I landed after thinking about all this. I don't think collectors are villains. I don't think reviewers are villains, or viewers are villains. I don't think YouTube is the villain. I think everybody's responding to everybody else. And creators respond to the audience. The audience responds to the thumbnails and the titles as your natural instinct to seek out danger before pleasure. And then the algorithm responds to the audience's reaction, of course. Creators then respond to the algorithm. And round it goes. And that's probably why this is not going away anytime soon. You know, this is probably why this is not, this is going to be the, you know, the norm for a while. because it's a feedback loop. The more it works, the more people do it. The more people do it, the more we click, and round we go again. You know, like I said, does that mean I think every negative thumbnail is fake and every person that's putting a negative thumbnail out there is bullshit? Absolutely not. Some toys are really fucking disappointing. And some companies really do make mistakes. And some companies really do know better. And still need to do better. You know, some criticism is absolutely fair, right? You know, this is definitely not a conversation about whether people should criticize products. Criticism is healthy. Honest reviews are healthy and needed, and it's what we really want at the end of the day. Here's the funny thing. We don't really want these negative thumbnail, you know, negative. It's just that your eye is going to go there, and then your curiosity, and then your danger instinct, and then you got to find out what's dangerous, or what the problem is, or what the threat is, or the potential bad investment is, and you're going to go click. Even though you would rather go kick it with the homies, talking about the figures y'all got that you love, that you bought, and that you're putting on your shelf together. That's what you'd rather do. But you can't. Because your lizard brain says, go find out what's wrong first. As Cleva Multiverse say, respect to the collection, respect the collection, respect the collector culture. Yes, shout out to Cleva Multiverse, man. Them dudes are dope. Grown ass men toys, all them dudes. Even Yojo Jerks Destro review got more views from an outwardly negative thumbnail. That's what prompted my video. That's what I, you know, not because, oh look, Yojo Jerks video got more views because it was negative. No. It's because I saw Yojo Jerk on the podcast talking about the fact that it's fucked up that I had to do this to get this kind of numbers. And I thought, why is that? Well, I knew why I thought it was, but you know, Reno and the toy trap, we always gonna dig deeper and find out some shit what nobody thinking about. A negative review is like a car wreck. You can't turn away. You got to see it even slow. It's like, that's the old psychology. Why you can't take away your eyes away from a car wreck, a train wreck. It's not because you want to see someone fucked up. It's that nature thing where you're looking for danger and you're looking to see what the threats are, and you don't even know that's what you're doing. It's all over the place. It's all over the place. Yeah, he acknowledged it. I mean, that's what that was what, you know, sparked it, was like the fact that, yeah, it is fucked up. We got to do that shit, you know. And I'll be honest, like after putting together this thumbnail tonight, I understand the temptation more than I ever have, because y'all flooded in here tonight, dog. I mean, y'all flooded in here tonight more than a regular show. Not because you knew I was going to be talking about this, because you thought I was going to be trashing a figure. And that is not shame on you. That is not shame on you. That is, oh, look at that. That's how humans do. Why do we do that? Right? It's a dope concept. I like to think about that kind of shit. Fascinates me. 1000% Reno, we're always drawn to drama. And that's the thing. It's like we're drawn to drama. We're drawn to this negative shit. People always thought about, well, like I did a little research tonight and I found out it's some animal shit. It's some instinct shit. We don't watch reality shows because we really like want to see people. Oh no, bro. Thank you, bro. And listen, I didn't mean to say like, oh, y'all flooded in here because you wanted to see bad stuff. My point being, many of you just want to come to see the toy trap, and that's great. That's the best. But like a lot of people who would have probably watched the video anyway just clicked faster, because like, what's Reno talking about? Because I don't do that. Like, you don't see no thumbnails. You don't see me bashing shit, really. You don't see me like doing that. So like, I'm sure people was just like, what the fuck? Not on some I love negativity, but on some what the fuck. because that's really what it is. We're not looking for negative thumbnails. We're not looking for negativity. We're not really looking for negativity. We're curious. What is it? Why is there negativity? We're clicking, why is there negativity? Not to see the negativity per se. Not all of us anyway. Some people, sure. I clicked as soon as I saw you were on. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. And I hope nobody took that offensively. I didn't mean like that. Like that. But I was talking about the temptation to, you know what? And it's, people might call it clickbait, right? Because it's clickbaity. And it's sort of the same thing as clickbait. Like, I know I don't like this figure or whatever, right? I know I really don't like this thing. But if I just say, reviewing this figure right now, I'm not feeling it. You might click if you like that reviewer, right? You might click if you want to see that channel. But if I'm on here going, it's the end of the world, you're going to look. And like, so yeah, I mean, I don't blame anybody that's doing it, because it's almost like you can't get on without it. Like, you can't get to a certain point without it. And that's what I mean by the temptation is there. Like, I love doing this because I love the hobby, and I love chopping it up with y'all and hanging out. And that's what it's really about for me, is the community and all that. But for me to be able to do it and do it better, I want to do better shit. I want to do fly shit, bro. I want this channel. I want to be going to every con for y'all, bro. Footage, you know what I'm saying? Press passes. I want to be doing all that shit, but it has to be generating revenue. And so it's like, fuck. If I don't do what I gotta do, will I make it? You know, that's the conundrum that we got to think about. That's the choice you really got to make. It's not all about keeping it real, you know, and it's not about selling out, because you're not selling out. You're just following the market research. You're being smart. You're in the business of YouTube. YouTube is about drama right now. Right now, that's what people, it wasn't always. Kind of always was. I mean, drama always lights up. That's viral, right? But like, YouTube's gone through many phases, bro. Many phases. I mean, look at, we're live streaming. Like, that wasn't even a thing at first. So it's different. It's different eras, man. But right now, sensationalism and, you know, the sky is falling, you know, crying wolf almost. That's the business. And the funny part is, you all know exactly, you know, why you're going to click it too, right? Instead of asking like, why are creators doing this? We should probably ask, why am I doing it? Why do I want to do it? And personally, I don't click on that kind of stuff, because I think it's the same reason. And it's, you got to find a, like I said, there's guys, like I said, Jersey Maniac, there's guys that found the balance and do it right. But you have to find that balance, because if it's too shilly, I'm not clicking, because I know you're shilling and I know it's not real. And if it's just too over the top absurd, I'm not clicking, because I know you're just doing that for clicks. If I really want to know what you really think. If it's negative, then so be it. As long as it's what you really think, and you're not just being negative because you know that's what sells. So, you know, it's sad, but it's the business, man. I caught your interview with Toy Games, and I enjoyed the vibe and decided to subscribe. Appreciate that, bro. Oh, shout out to Toy Games, man. That's my homie, bro. I like that dude. He's really cool, bro. That was a good interview. It was not really an interview. It was more, he just came on and kicked it on the live. We were just all talking about like our experiences growing up in the 80s with G.I. Joe on 4th of July. That's what it was. Tomorrow, though, we will be live. Gaines will be on again tomorrow. we'll be talking about the new G.I. Joe movie coming out that Danny McBride's making and all that. So check that out. No offense taken, you're 100% right. I appreciate that, bro. And I didn't mean to, but it's all good because it's just human nature. You know what I'm saying? Now, for creators out there, for you guys that create content, if there are, I know there are some of you guys. I know some of you guys have channels for sure. Have you ever reviewed a figure that you genuinely liked, but couldn't come up with a title because this figure is awesome, won't get a click? You know, like, because I think a lot of creators go through that. Like, I just really like this shit. If I just say I just really like it, though, I really like this figure, come look at it. I know I won't get a click. Or like, have you ever looked at a title or a thumbnail and thought, man, I hate doing this, but I know it's going to perform better. Man, I really don't want to say that, but I know that's what's going to get the clicks. Man, if YouTube suddenly rewarded positive titles, right, 5 times more than negative titles, how many creators do you think would completely change their thumbnail style overnight and go completely positive? There'd be a lot. But you can tell the guys that are doing it for real, because you can know, like, certain dudes, it didn't matter what they're not doing it because that's what's hot. They're doing it because that's just how they really felt. And that's what kind of blew that whole style up too. I thought about toys reviewing, but I know it's not my thing. Yeah, for me, and like, this is not a review channel. Like, I don't review toys regularly. If I was a review channel, I'd have a whole review setup. There'd be like that white box thing with the light and everything, so you could just see my hands and look at the figure real good and all that. When I review a figure, it's like this, because I'm just on here really chopping it up. Like, if I was going to be I don't feel that I should be a review channel just because I can't get figures as early as people who live in other countries. If you're going to be like a reviewer, you kind of want to get it before everybody else, so you can be, you know, one of the earliest ones reviewing it. So what I do is I'll, like, once I know everybody else has the figure, because the reviewers, they all get them figures a month, 2 weeks before all of us here in America are getting that shit. And so we got to look at it and be like, oh, that shit is dope. Fuck, I can't wait till I get mine. And like, that's one thing. But like, I thought, you know, I wait till everybody else gets it around the time I'm getting it, and we chop it up together live, do the review together live when everyone else has it in hand. What do y'all think about it? You know, and we talk about it as a conversation, you know, as a community conversation. That's my thing. That's what I want to do. That's how I get it in. It has to be like, is this shit the figure of the year? Yeah, in the title, it really does. It has to be over the top, man. All right, so I like this channel. I came across you by accident. Within 5 minutes, subscribe. You're not trying to kiss your ass or anything. Oh, nah, bro. I appreciate that, man. You know, this shit ain't easy, like, but it ain't rocket science. You know, I'm just up here hanging out, bro. I really just keep it real, and I prefer just to hang out and build the community, chop it up with friends doing what I do. Because to be honest, I don't know a lot of people in real life that understand this. It's not in my world. Not in, like, in the hip hop community. And the funny thing is, the fly shit is, all your favorite rappers and producers and people in the industry collect comic books. They're nerds. They fucking love Marvel. They love G.I. Joe. They collect Marvel Legends. They collect action figures. And I know because I've had some on this show. Pharaoh Monch has been on my show. Pharaoh Monch, you know how I met Pharaoh Monch? I'm on Instagram scrolling through, and he was talking about something, and he had some Marvel Legends in the background. And I'm like, in the comments, I'm like, bro, you fuck with Marvel Legends, bro? And he hit me back. I'm like, bro, I got this channel. We talk hip hop and comics and blah blah blah, and you fuck with that. Like, yo, we got to talk about that shit. And he was like, hit up my booking agent. So I hit her up. She hits me back. We booked the fucking date. He comes on the show. I fucking totally blew it. Like, I was totally green. This was years ago. I started asking him about his album and shit. But we still talk to this day. We still talk. We still show pictures, show each other figures and shit like that. So it's dope. Like, but it's hard to find people, you know, in my world that not only understand it, but would want to give a fuck to talk about it. Like my best friend, like he'll come on here sometimes and just hop in the chat and just fuck around, but he doesn't. He gets it. Me, he digs it for me, but he is not gonna do it. Like he don't get it, and that's cool. And I don't expect him to. You know. But we all fucking know. Everybody here knows. Everyone in this room right now knows exactly how cool this shit is, and that's the, you know, that's the cool thing. I feel like more like I got an inside scoop. I know some shit y'all don't know. Y'all tripping. Every one of y'all hip hop fans don't know Method Man got 30,000 comic books in his collection. Super comic book nerd. Like all these dudes, bro. All these dudes love that shit. That's why this channel used to be not called The Toy Trap, by the way. This channel for about 6 years was called Sixth Element of Hip Hop. Because comic books, I say, inspired every element of hip hop, right? So they should be and are the sixth element. So sixth element of hip hop, cool concept. I was reading RZA's book like a year later, and he was saying how comic books were an element of hip hop and all this shit. And I was like, that's dope. That's my channel. Like, that's confirmation. But algorithm never understood it. The algorithm just sees hip hop. It doesn't understand I'm talking about comic books. So when I have a channel called Sixth Element of Hip Hop, and we're talking about comic books, the algorithm just goes, what? Are we showing this to hip hop people, or are you doing comics? Like, it didn't know. So it didn't know what to do. I got into the toy shit more and started focusing like my topics just on one thing, just on toys or something toy related. Then I started changing the name to Sixth Element Collectibles. Then it became Sixth Element Toy Trap, and now it's just the Toy Trap. It was an evolution, and here we are. But this is it, man. This is why I do it right here, just kicking it. And I'll be at Legion's Con too, meeting people. You know what I'm saying? Hanging out, making connections. That's what it's all about. My friends don't understand why I collect. They do not understand it. They will not ever understand it. And that's cool. That's cool. Let it be, because you know what? We got us. We got each other. We just come here and kick it. You come to the Toy Trap, bro, and chop it up. That's what we do. It's the way of the world. Superman, the Calverine, Henry Cavill Witcher is a nerd. They're all nerds, bro. Did you know Tom Hardy, Bane, is a rapper? Was rapping since the 90s, and now is on an album with Czarface, which is, if you don't know who Czarface is, that's Wu-Tang Clan's Inspector Deck and Czarface. They got a group. We got a group. They got a group rather, and it's like comic books. It's like comic-based hip-hop, where like they pretty much present through like comics and stuff rather than live shows and stuff like that. Reminds me of that band Gorillaz, who only perform as animation. But so Tom Hardy is on this album now called and his name is Frankie Pulitzer. So if you see Frankie Pulitzer on Czarface, that is Tom Hardy. That is Bane. That is Venom. That is Tom Hardy. I was chopping it up with him too on Instagram. Super down to earth dude. I'm fucking talking to Tom Hardy. I wanted to start asking him hella shit. What was it like playing Bane? You know, geeking the fuck out. But of course, you know, I'm all cool, like, you know, but it's cool, man. These guys just fucking regular dudes, man. So yeah, I tried to get him on the show. He said he said I'm in the mist right now, meaning he's not doing the face reveal. I was like, cool, man. Once you do that face reveal, he said, speak for yourself. What's your figure? Watch your figure. We're all friends. What are you talking about? No, everybody's not friends, but it's cool that there's a community. There, you know, there's different sides of the community. There's all kinds of sides to the community. There's all kinds of factions and crews. You know, we don't all have to get along. We don't have to all agree on shit, but we don't have to all agree on all kinds of, you know, issues, you know, which is why I don't ever bring certain issues up here, you know, certain issues, religion, sports, fucking politics, keep that shit out of here. People care too much. They're too passionate. They get too upset. They get too offended. They're too serious about it. And this is really kind of an escape for that. So you can be rest assured, if you come over to the Toy Trap, you will be getting an escape from all things political and religious and bullshit. So that's why I come here, to get away from all that nonsense. Because trust me, I get down, but not on the trap. So yeah, guys. So listen, I appreciate everybody that came tonight, man. I really appreciate you guys if you're here tonight, and no matter why you clicked, and I know most of you just clicked to see the Toy Trap and what was Reno talking about, and that's what's up. But I think if you all ask yourself, what was interesting about that, or what caught my eye first, right? What caught your eye first? Was it all this crazy shit? Was it the vitriol? Was it the, you know, the danger? Like, oh, what's going on? Was it curiosity? What could have Reno so disgusted? You know, it's all a little different for everybody, and you know, so. But this was a little bit of a different show than we normally do here on the Toy Trap. But you know, honestly, I think these conversations are just as fun, just as important, just as cool as talking about the latest figure news or reviews. And I don't think anybody's leaving here with the answers tonight. I'm certainly not. Didn't come here for that. Just wanted to chop it up and kick it. But maybe next, you know, maybe the next time, you know, one of those over the top thumbnails pops up in your feed, you'll stop for a second and think, why did this catch my attention? What's my motivation for clicking it? And then if you want to click it, click it. Like, ain't nobody saying don't click that shit. We're not doing that. We're here to talk about why. Why do we like it? Why do we click it? Why are we into it? And if the answer is yeah, probably, then you're not alone. I would have too. That's what we all do. That's what it is, man. So I appreciate that, Hot Rod, man. Thank you, man. So what you're doing, great content, great chat, great community. You're doing something right, man. I just love hanging out with everybody, man. And if you guys do too, and you love and you had a good time tonight, what you talking about? Oh, I thought Destro. Oh, if you're new, listen. If you're new to this, we welcome you, and that's the official Toy Trap welcome. If you like the discussion, guys, hit the like button. If you're new around here, definitely subscribe, become part of the Toy Trap family. Chop it up with us. After the stream ends, head down to the comments, because we definitely still want to hear what you know, how you feel, how you landed on this. If you're part of the replay crew tonight, guys, we really appreciate y'all. Keep us going. And we definitely want to hear what you guys have to say too in them comments, man. And also that does help the channel grow too. So if you want to support the channel, say a comment in the comment section. Even if you were in the live, it helps us out, man. But That's it, man. I just want to hear what you guys want to think. Did we create this, man? Did YouTube create it? This is just human nature. But until next time, man, collecting ain't a hobby no more. It's a habit. Welcome to the Toy Trap. And don't forget what we always tell you before we go.
Be water, my friend.
Collecting ain't a hobby no more. It's a habit. Welcome to the Toy Trap feed. Gotta have it. Reno and Stu, real plastic crack addicts. Toy Trap, Toy Trap. Toy Trap magic, huh?